guys, so if you're new to my channel, I talk a lot about Kibbe body types, which is a very interesting system to categorize women on different beauty types, which helps you a lot in finding your signature style. I have a huge Kibbe body types playlist. I'm gonna leave the link down below. And today we're gonna discuss your favorite beauty bloggers, whether they're from Instagram or here on YouTube, more popular or a bit less popular. Just recently under one of my posts, I asked you if you want me to type one of your favorite beauty bloggers, and you wrote me so many names, so I will have to do several videos about them. So today is gonna be a first one. Before I continue, I have one disclaimer. First of all, I'm just learning from Kibbe. Only he himself knows his technology 100%, and he knows which body type this or that woman is. Second point, sometimes it's impossible to tell which body type of a woman has on the pictures. It's still possible to tell which body types she for sure not. I still can do that, but sometimes I can get stuck between 4 or 3 types or 2 types just because the pictures is still an illusion. It's always an angle. For example, if somebody is always shot from down there, she never shows herself in a real kind of proportions, I can't tell how tall she looks. So again, in this case, we can only guess. Another thing, makeup and hair change a person a lot. I already trained my eyes a little bit to see the body underneath all that clothes, all that fashion, all that makeup and hair. I can kind of predict how she looks. And very often when women write me, if I can determine their type, they send me their pictures and they don't tell me their height, and I can kind of predict, like, are you 5'3", 5'4"? She's like, oh yeah, I'm 5'3.5", for example. So sometimes you can predict, sometimes it's tricky a little bit. Of course, I don't have that much time to research so deeply into each individuals, to check most of their pictures, most of their videos. And another thing we're gonna pay attention on is the style that she's promoting, if it fits to that body type that I think she is, and how you can be inspired by that style. Because basically, the work of bloggers, fashion bloggers, they're basically showing different fashion items on themselves and inspire you to get similar items and get dressed similarly, and kind of like give you an idea on how you can get dressed. And I know hundreds of thousands of women are winning from that because they can absolutely transform their look. So this is why I'm doing this series. Okay, let's go. Karolina Zebrowska. I watch her channel. I love her very much. She has an amazing sense of humor and amazing sense of that old-fashioned historical clothing aesthetic and historical photos. Feels like she's from that time. So first things that we see is elongated face, elongated nose, elongated cheekbones, quite taut cheekbones. We don't see much extra flesh. She is elongated looking. I don't know her height, but I think she is above 5'5". Anyway, I can feel that long vertical line on her. Now, as far as she has this obvious vertical line, she can be one of 3 types, whether dramatic, flamboyant, natural, or soft dramatic. I don't think she's soft dramatic because she's not curve dominant. I don't see any extra flesh, prominent curves, and that extra lushness of her. So she can whether be dramatic or flamboyant natural. I was thinking about dramatic too, and I have a perception that majority of people who are watching now this video also think that she is dramatic. I didn't find pictures of her where I could see her shoulder that is going to arms area. She's always covered with clothes, and this part of the body is quite important for us to determine the body type too. But looking at her face, her gestures, and looking at how clothes sits on her, I personally think she is flamboyant natural type. She definitely can pull off some dramatic things too, and she's going a lot for that dramatic, old-fashioned, historical style, that Art Deco girl, and she's doing it beautifully, and I think for the photos it really suits to her. So I think on the photos she quite often looks like dramatic. I still think that she looks her best in slightly relaxed top parts and with elongated vertical line, without color blocks or too much waist emphasis when we have this wider skirt situation. And maybe it will sound funny because she normally goes for that historical periods of times, but I can definitely see her on a podium as a 90s supermodel. I think that would really fit. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Next one is Alexandra Beth, and I found out that she is quite small. She's 5'2", 1 meter 52 centimeters. She's quite tiny. So we have many options here. First of all, I can tell you for sure that she is soft. Her height is also a yin part in her. She has quite soft and sensual facial features, soft rounded face, face, soft cheekbones, large eyes, sensual soft lips. And of course, I'm trying to find pictures of these ladies when I can see the outline of their body. Otherwise, it would be very hard for me to determine their type. So I was trying to see the real outline of her shoulders going to the chest area and then going to the waist, because that is very important. So her shoulders are a little bit angular. She has quite straight hips. On top of all that, she has some softness in her body, some width on top. So in my viewpoint, she is soft natural. I was thinking about maybe romantic too, but then when I checked the real outline of her body, I think she's a little bit closer to soft natural type. Of course, she can shine in different kinds of romantic lines too, I think, but still she's a little bit closer to soft natural. Next one is Valeria Lipovetsky. I don't know her height, but she does look quite tall to me. She has long vertical line and she has that squarish bone structure on her face, for example. She has squarish shoulders, squarish jawline. So as far as she is tall looking or elongated looking, she can be one of three: flamboyant natural, soft dramatic, and dramatic. I think she's too soft for dramatic. She has softened facial features, a little bit softened body lines, so I would not put her to dramatic. She's not soft dramatic too, because soft dramatics are curve dominant and she doesn't have that extra flesh, extra lushness on her, and her bone structure is not sharp to me. It's a little bit more on a blunt side. So from my viewpoint, she's purely flamboyant natural. What do you guys think? Next one is Leonora Smee. She's definitely elongated looking. I don't know her height, unfortunately. One of my subscribers suggested that she can be soft dramatic, and that was the first thing that I thought about when I saw her. Then I looked closer at her top part of her body and just in general on stuff that looks great on her. I think she's a little bit closer to flamboyant natural to me just because of that width on her top part of the body. Soft dramatics still have quite sharp bones, and on top of that, that soft flesh and elongation. And in her case, I don't see the bones as sharp. Anyway, I think she can rock soft dramatic lines too, because she does have that extra softness on her and her face and her body. But to me, the vibe is still flamboyant natural, because she looks amazing with a slightly tousled hair, with free dresses. Soft dramatics normally look very untidy with that. They just need hair by hair and a bit more shaped dresses. But I think she can rock both styles. Next one is Elena Hugh. I don't know her height. First, when I saw her, I thought about that she is quite balanced in proportions. She looks moderate in size. She doesn't look petite for sure. She also doesn't look curve dominant to me. She's definitely more frame dominant. She's a little bit chiseled, quite trim, and quite balanced. She's a little bit angular and a little bit broad. So in my viewpoint, she is dramatic classic. And it's interesting that the majority of outfits that she's going for is also dramatic classic, which I like very much. By the way, this is a great example of how you can still have these crazy color combinations and different kinds of patterns as a dramatic classic. Because from what I could see, she never goes over the top with colors or shapes. And she's choosing very complicated patterns for her clothes and complicated color combinations, and she's making them work, and not only for herself, just in general, she's making them look quite classy. So for many women that might fit, it's normally due to, if she's wearing a pattern that is quite crazy, then it's normally done in a very good shape, nothing over the top, quite plain and simple. When she's choosing colorful items, same thing. So I totally recommend you her channel if you as a classic want to make everything a little bit more interesting. Next one is Christina Mychas. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. I never saw her before. Beautiful woman, amazing, very simple classic style. She looked quite balanced and soft to me with some extra sharpness and angularity. So at the beginning I even was thinking about she might be a soft classic, but after I've seen much more of her pictures, I think that she is closer to flamboyant gamine to me. Her proportions are not as balanced as I thought. I think she's a little bit more broadly angular and quite playful. And also I noticed that everything a bit more contrasted, including makeup, looks very vivid on her. She's full of life. Also, when I saw her wearing that elongated blazer, I could see proportion-wise that she is a bit closer to flamboyant gamine. There are many flamboyant gamines that sometimes can look slightly shorter legs, a bit longer torso, but I think the style that she chooses for herself really suits to her. And if you're a flamboyant gamine who is looking for inspiration for a little bit more classic style, yet still quite casual and relaxed, definitely go check her out. Alright, that's it. I hope that was interesting. If you have your own favorite fashion blogger, just write me her name under this video and preferably her height if you know it, because it's going to be very, very helpful for me. Thank you. Bye-bye.